All right, welcome to the long-awaited, much anticipated end of year of 2024 TNZ. We like to call this the year in review. Some of you like to say it's the once a year show, but we'll be doing more, so settle down to all you millions and millions of viewers out there. I just want to welcome my special, esteemed co-host,
Co-star.
co-star. Yeah, we've upgraded your title to co-star. So I'd like to welcome my co-star, the co-founder of one of the greatest hockey podcasts ever delivered to one of the greatest communities of ball hockey in the great city of Chicago. I want to welcome formally Christopher Stompanato, what many of you know him as, Stomps. So welcome, Stomps. What do you have to say to the viewers?
It's good to be back. Hope you enjoy this little recap we got going. That's about it.
Good.
Hope
So,
everybody's doing well this holiday season.
so how about we jump right in, Stomps? How about we jump right in with a couple of quick housekeeping current events, so I'd like to call them. So, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate Elon Musk for his recent appointment to be the co-head, well, let's just call him the co-star of the Department of Government Efficiency, along with Vivek Ramaswamy. Stomps, this guy has done everything from creating the greatest electric car to SpaceX, and I'm dedicating my background today to Elon Musk. What do you think of this new department, Stomps?
We need one in our community to clean up the mess.
Oh yeah. So
There's a lot of waste in the ball hockey community.
yeah, and lots of different competing forces I see.
I, I keep myself out of the fray.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, it's good. It's good. We're going to cover a lot of things. Like Stomp said in the beginning, we're going to do the year in review. We're going to talk a little bit about, some of the players, some of the venues, talk about what some of Stomps and I are hoping for 2025 in terms of our New Year's resolutions. But let me just start off one topic that might be of specific interest to you, Stomps. Have you watched the Vince McMahon Netflix show yet?
I have not because I don't have Netflix.
Well, for those of you out there who haven't watched it, I definitely want to tell you that it's a must see. Some of the recordings happened before his charges, and some of them I think are happening now as well because there's continuous seasons. So for all you WWE fans, wrestling fans, Freddie in particular, and Stomps and myself and many others, it's definitely one to watch. Cobra Kai came out with their final season. Have you watched the Cobra Kai episodes yet?
Is it on Netflix?
I mean, by now you can find these things in some sort of black market, I guess.
Are they on YouTube?
Not yet, but I'm sure that Cobra Kai will be. So you haven't watched Cobra Kai, you haven't watched Vince McMahon. Okay, no problem. So let's just quickly get through current events without being controversial. Let's talk about the four nations. So the four nations hockey rosters have been announced. I'm gonna start off Stomps with just with let's save the US for last. Let's go with Finland. So the forwards for Finland, Sebastian Aho, Joel Armia, Alexander Barkov, Mikael Granlund, Eric Holla, Rupins, Capo Caco, Patrick Laine, Arturi Lekkinen, Anton Lundell, Eetu Luostarinen, Mikko Rantanen, and Tuvo Teravainen. That's a pretty good forward
You
line.
mean Teuvo Teravainen?
I don't know. You can pronounce it however you want. Defenseman Yanni Hakanpää, Miro Heiskanen, Isa Lindell, Olli Mata, Nico Mikola, Rasmus Ristolainen, and Juuso Välimäki. And the goalies are Kevin Lankinen, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and UC Saros. What do you think of that roster?
That's a really good team. It's loaded with stars. Barkov, great player. I never knew he was Finnish until they won the cup last year, and they were saying, he was the first Finnish captain to win a Stanley Cup or whatever it was. And I was like, because I thought the guy was Russian, to be honest with you, with a name like his, but that's a good
Yeah.
team right there.
Yeah, there are a couple of Russian Finland players that have dual citizenship. It's escaping me the one that was on the Leafs and then he was traded to the Islanders. I'll get back to you on that one um
I look
momentarily.
forward to it.
Yeah, I'll get back to you for sure. I don't know. I know these Finnish players. I don't think they're one of the favorites, to be honest with you, of the four. Like I think that they have a pretty deep roster. They're a good team, but not super counting on them to make any noise here. But let's talk about Sweden for a second, eh? Um, Swedish forwards Victor Arvidsson, Jesper Bratt, Leo Carlsson, Joel Eriksson, Philip Forsberg, William Carlson, Adrian Kempe, Elias Lindholm, William Nylander, Gustav Nyquist, Elias Pettersson, Lucas Raymond, Mika Zibanejad. Then when you go to defense, Rasmus Henderson, Jonas Broden, Rasmus Dahlin, Matthias Ekholm, Gustav Forsling, Victor Hedman, Eric Carlson, and backstopping them is Philippe Gustafsson, Jacob Markstrom, and Linus Ullmark. Now that looks like a very solid team. What do you think of that?
Sweden always has great defense traditionally.
Yes.
Um, so what do they call it? The Four Crowns, is it? The Crone? That's their nickname or whatever it is. I forget.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean that's solid too. I mean these are all great NHL players. Most of them. Maybe there's one or two that aren't, but
Yeah, and I mean,
Gustafsson for the goaltender. I think he's from the Minnesota Wild.
yeah, yeah,
Really good.
they're
So
pretty deep. They're pretty deep down in the back end. I don't know about the center position on there. I think Canada and US. We'll kind of go through those momentarily, but I think they're really strong down the middle. Um, let's go to the United States roster.
well, you said you were going to save them for last.
Let's save them for last. Let's go to Canada. So Canada, Sam Bennett, Anthony Cirelli, Sidney Crosby, Brandon Hagel, Seth Jarvis, Travis Konechny, Nathan McKinnon, Brad Marchand, Mitch Marner, woo, from the Leafs, Connor McDavid, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart, and Mark Stone. What do you think of that forward lineup?
Just with McKinnon and McDavid, wow. That speed to that is incredible. Those two guys just by themselves. Amazing.
I know. What a
And
great.
Sid the kid's still I mean he's obviously still a productive player, so he deserves to be there.
I think it's a good, well-rounded roster. I think it's going to be solid. I think they're very strong up the middle. I agree with you on the speed. I like what I have, what we see here. I mean, there are some elements here where maybe they lack a little bit of sandpaper. So I've been kind of watching, the roster assessments. Some people say that it would have been nice to have a player like Zach Hyman, although Zach Hyman started off very slow this year, but he's starting to pick it up.
He was hurt too.
Yeah, he was hurt, but he had a 50-goal season last year, and he did start off slow. So I mean, there's probably a little bit of toughness that that might be missing over there because when we get to the U.S. roster, I mean that's pretty tough. Defenseman Cale Makar, no surprise there. Josh Morrissey, Colton Parayko, Alex Peterangelo, Travis Sanheim, Shea Theodore, and Devon Tays. I mean, these are a lot of good players. It's pretty good defense. I mean, there's to me no question on that defensive roster of seven. What do you think of that?
Good offensive defenseman.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Where I think there's some hole stomps is on their goaltending. Three goalies are here: Jordan Binnington, Aiden Hill, and Sam Montembold. I'm not impressed really with the Canadian goalies, not because they picked them wrong, but just because I don't think that it's a solid set of goalies. But I mean, with that offensive power that we just talked about, maybe it's not as critical, right?
We'll have to see. I mean, I think the U.S. has been turning out the really good goaltending in recent years.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So the US has I think they've had good goaltenders for a long time, but most recently they're strong. And when I go through what I'm going to arguably say is that this is the best US roster I've ever seen. Um,
well, wait, you're a Canadian. What do you think of no Connor Bedard?
I would have liked to see him there. I would have liked to see him there. Um, I know that he hasn't had a really good start, right, this year.
Sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it.
I I
Maybe
also I
seems to
also
play with a different line every night.
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, just think about a lot of the good players and who they had when they were up and coming, like you know Jonathan Tays, Patrick Kane, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Crosby, Malkin, McDavid, Drysaitel. I mean, the guy doesn't have a wingman, so I would have liked to see him there and maybe surround himself with some good players. I think it would have been good for the Chicago franchise just because it would have allowed him to start playing with some real top quality players and maybe could bring back some of those learnings back to the team. I don't know. What do you think? You must be disappointed as well, right?
Yeah, we'll see. Go through the U.S. team because I mean
Yeah.
it's sounding like there's no Blackhawks in this thing. Oh no, Teuvo Teravainen was on the Finnish team.
Yeah, yeah. There's there and then what we don't have any Blackhawks on Team USA, but let's start with the forwards. Matt Boldy, Kyle Connor, Jack Eichel, Jake Gunzel, Jack Hughes, Chris Kreider, Dylan Larkin, Austin Matthews, JT Miller, Brock Nelson, Brady Kachuk, Matthew Kachuk, Vincent Trocek. Do you want to pause and talk about their forwards, or do you want me to go through the D and then you could talk about?
Now, if you compare that to Canada's front line, you made reference to sandpaper. I think the U.S. has some grit on that forward
Yeah,
group.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I just think that they're just, I mean, the Kachucks themselves, right? Like they're pretty
Right.
strong. And then you got talent though. It's not like it's just sandpaper, right? Like with Jack
Um,
Hughes and how about Austin Matthews? I mean, we're talking about a 60 goal scorer here, right?
right.
Um, I don't know, man. That's going to be a hard team to defend against. I mean, you got strong bodies too, big strong bodies. Jack Eichel's no slouch too, right? Stanley Cup winner.
Yeah.
Um, really, really good players here on Team USA. What I was gonna let's go through their defense, which I would arguably say is also very strong. And US usually has pretty good defense, like Brock Faber from the Minnesota Wild, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, Jacob Slavin, and Zach Werenski. Oh my God, that's also a very good defensive team, don't you think?
Yeah, I think Adam Fox has had a little bit of a slow start, if you will, but still a great player.
I
Yeah.
I would agree.
Let's hear the goalies. Jake Ottinger, I'll bet, is in there.
Yeah, so you got Connor Hellebuck, which is to me, I mean, a great goalie. I mean, they have really good goalies. Jake Ottinger, like you said, from the Stars, and then Jeremy Swayman from the Boston Bruins. Pretty good goalies, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think they got the best goaltending in the
I,
tournament.
I do as well. I mean, I'm telling you, like, it's going to be hard to, if you go talent versus talent, I'm going to go with, I'm going to give Canada the edge. Okay. If you go strength
Yeah.
down the middle, obviously I'm going to go with Canada with the edge. Defense, I think you summarize it nicely with the defense, kind of like offensively defensive minded. Oh, sorry, offensive defenseman. Canada's good. I think if you go for like sheer grit combined with talent, the ability to score at critical times, I definitely would pick the U.S. forwards. And then I guess, or I like the U.S. defense depth, and then I'll give the edge to the U.S. and goalies. So, I mean, if it was a two-team championship or two-team tournament, yeah, I think it's U.S. and Canada. But don't be surprised with Sweden, right?
Should be fun. I used to love the Canada Cup back in the day. It was always enjoyable. So
Same here. Same here. Well, excellent. This is going to be good. This is in February, so I look forward to that. Okay, good stuff. So we got a lot of ground to cover here. Um, we'll kind of do like rapid fire here with a couple of topics. Try to, if you want to dig in, Stomps, we'll definitely dig in. But let's just talk about something most recent. What happened in Iowa last weekend?
um first of all, you couldn't ask really. I don't think you could ask for better weather
Hmm.
for a December outdoor tournament. Um, Not as many teams as last year. There were 12 on the D5. I want to say 6 on D3 and 5 on D1. And D1 did a draft. So I guess they formulated teams, and I forget the team that came out on top, to be honest with you. Eddie Urban was on that team. So he was the only Chicago area guy to take take home some hardware. So congrats there. I think it was all Iowa teams that won. Um, I got to thank my teammate and colleague Joe Gleason for the great idea to resurrect the Lugags hockey team and pay tribute to fallen players, Rocco and DiBartolo and Jay Taglia. Um, so that was great. We won't talk about the hockey part of it though.
Hmm. Disappointing results.
It was a little rough, let's just put it that way, but we
Yeah.
have fun, you know. It's
Well, a year ago you won it all, so you have that to hang your hat on. But you know, it's what have you done for
you
me?
don't take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good on you for going out there. And I know you love that Iowa tournament. Um, hey, before I forget, I just want to recognize you fact checking skills. Um, Alexander Barkov is actually a dual citizen. He's
Well,
a Russian and Finnish citizen. And the other player that's a Russian and Finnish citizen, because I knew there was one more, is Leo Komarov. So he's got Russian in him. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the Masters. So Frank has sent out an email and a communications to people. Next Masters tournament that's happening in Pottstown is going to be a little different. So if you haven't gotten back to Frank, get back to his email. So the North American roster tournament in Pottstown is going to have a couple of different formats. There's going to, or a different format. There's going to be a format change from the 40 plus to a 35 plus and a 50 plus. So currently, according to Frank, GC will enter a team in each division. If we don't have if he doesn't get enough players to fill the team, he'll add outsiders. But for the guys age 47 plus, you'll be placed on the 50 plus team, unless there is a need on the 35 plus team. There is a chance some older guys might be double rostered. Um, He wants to go with 3 lines and a goalie for each team. And then he's gonna, if you've gotten the email and you haven't gotten back to Frank, please get back to him because I think he's looking to start making some plans and get some practices going. So it looks like the master season is starting to pick up again, which is good. We've had a couple of things happen. Hey, listen, there was a tournament in October in Palatine. It was a really good tournament. I thought it was really nicely run by Wade. I think the gentleman's name is Wade. He did a really good job. So I I think the Toros won Pool B. So congratulations to the Toros. And then
Yes,
Pool Pool A, I think it was the Southsiders. Ooh, I think it was the
I think
Southsiders.
you're
Yeah,
correct about that.
congratulations to the Southsiders for Pool A. We had a team come up from Toronto, the Dynamo team from Toronto. We were unlucky, not as bad as your Iowa results, but we had leads of sometimes 5-0, 3-0. We blew some leads, so we'll be back. So look forward to that. So that was a good experience. Stomps, what sounds like Woodridge was shut down, right, for the season?
Yeah, we ended with a couple games on Thanksgiving, so it was another good year. We had just a handful of like new faces come out, which is always, it's a good thing because you're trying to grow things as much as you can, and so it was good to see some new players out there making their presence felt. Um, but we got lucky. I mean, I'd say for the most part, the weather was great. The floor was great for the most part. So we played almost every week. Not There may have been a couple of cancellations, not too much. And but mostly one game a week. And but we had the two on Thanksgiving, which I think you were there for one of those.
Yep, I was there for the first one. I've missed a couple of the Woodridge this past session. Hope to get back into it when it resumes in the spring. Palatine's taking a little bit of a break, I think, till the new year. So they have some organized pickup games, right?
Yeah, on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Have you
They
been have you been out to any of those?
I haven't been out because I just been a little bit under the weather, so I'm just trying to get healthy for the holidays and but yeah, you just sign up through the app if you want to. I heard there was one week, I don't know if it was a Monday. They said there was a lot of guys. I mean, it was like 16 on 16, something like that. Um, so who knows, some people may have felt not enough playing time. I don't know. I wasn't there, but at least people are interested and they're out there playing. So
Yeah.
that's important.
Well, I mean, that's definitely important. Well, it's good to have Palatine continuing. Let me ask you about a couple of players. So, are you aware of any injured players right now? Are there some players that are on the IR that we should talk about?
None that are jumping out that come to mind. I mean, and I'm sure somebody will say, "Hey, you didn't mention my, my broken elbow or whatever." But I'm honestly not aware of anybody that's out with a
The,
major issue.
the
Is
only one, there's a couple. So I know Danielle had her ACL
well,
reconstructed. She'll be back, and I think she's
well,
already.
I thought she would have been back by now. So I
Yeah, I
don't.
think she's already back, so hopefully she'll have a continued recovery and a good one. We do know that Freddie Coletta has been injured for quite some time. He has a injury. It's a lower body injury. Uh, I mean,
It's
I guess
below his waist.
yeah, it's a lower limb injury. Let's just say that he's been working really hard to get back into it. So hopefully he's back. Speaking of getting back into it, and speaking of Palatine and the app, let's talk a little bit about the annual Chicago Legends Ball Hockey Tournament in January on the Martin Luther King weekend. I think that's hosted this year and organized historically by Frank Klein, but I think this year Billy Jacques is running that. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be participating in that?
With the Bearcats, yes, we will.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I don't know. I mean, I heard. I don't know if there's what it looks like as far as out of town teams coming in. That part of it I don't know, but should be good. It's always a good tournament,
Yeah,
I think.
it's a really good tournament. It's really well ran. I think I'm excited about the Raiders reunion team.
Yeah,
So that's one that's come up. So I think there's going to be a lot of good players coming back together. Obviously, some of them are in their twilight years, but hopefully will remain competitive. That's going to be good. That's going to be good, and there'll be obviously I'm sure the Toros will put a team in. I don't know what they're going to be branded as this time, but they probably are getting new jerseys, right?
right. They'll have home, away, and an alternate jersey.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. So no, good luck, Billy Jacques. For those of you who are interested in playing, and for those of you who haven't paid your deposit, please pay as soon as possible because I think Billy Jacques is really trying to get this thing moving. So he's asked us to do a special shout out for the show. He has made his information about the tournament available on the app. He's made it available on Facebook. So reach out to Billy Jacques if you're interested. Okay, Glencoe's taking a much needed break for the winter, and then they'll resume, I guess, is that in April they start?
Yeah, typically, yes.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Back to the players for a sec. So Freddie, we talked about his injury. Chelly has not been around the rink that much. Any news on him and what's happening with him? Is he
Well,
just?
he was just in Iowa.
Oh, he was. Okay.
He was playing with the Knights with his brother Martin and their team. I think they went to the semis and lost 3-2 in a heartbreaker in D3. But yeah, Chile was out there. I saw him in the quarterfinal game I was watching before I left, and took a stick right like underneath the nose and drew blood and everything else. So,
Oh man, that doesn't sound
so
good.
welcome back to the rink to Chile. But no,
Yeah.
he was great. I mean, paired up with his brother, that was haven't seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen that, to be honest with you. So that was kind of neat.
Oh, that's cool. I think they've been together a few times. Okay, how's handsome Bobby D?
Bobby D's on a roll. I mean, he won the last. I think he was on the winning team for both the last Monday and Wednesday Palatine leagues. Monday was Team Green, and Wednesday was it what team? Pizza Bats, was it?
Yes, he's Pizza Bats. He won.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Bobby D. They won in the finals against Dynamo, a restructured Dynamo team, which was really incredible. I got a hats off to Art and Dan Reed for leading that team. The Wednesday league, just so you're aware, from what I've been told, is it's moving to a draft. So that's going to go to a draft. So the teams, the Pizza Bats, the Death, the A Team, and Dynamo, I believe they'll all be disbanded. So okay, perfect. So that's going to change for the Wednesday league. Um, I think Ganutek is going to be returning on Wednesday. Have you seen him much on Mondays?
I don't think he made the last session at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's. I
So it'd
think.
be good to see him back. I
Yeah,
heard there's going to be another team coming for Monday. I don't know if it's the return of Yellow or I can't remember. I know there's going to be a sixth team, I believe. So we'll do away with the double headers, and we won't have to have bye weeks and stuff like that.
that's great. No, no, it's really good. So speaking of a couple of guys, I just want to recognize. We talk a lot about players' injuries, and we like to highlight certain players. I do want to recognize three people that have really worked hard on their personal fitness. And I think one of the things, when you're younger, um, you basically play hockey to stay in shape. but now we have to stay in shape to play hockey as we get older. So first and foremost, I want to recognize Mike Sabatini. I've noticed that he's been on a very good fitness regimen. I think he's always been active in terms of running these marathons and playing softball and playing hockey, but I think he's probably put some work into his diet. So congratulations, Mike. It's noticeable. I think you and Mike share two things in common. You both share the same birthday, and secondly, you both share the same Italian heritage. So I recognize you for that. Now you both share something else in common, which is tremendous weight loss. So my co-star here has done amazing work. I had the pleasure of sharing and breaking bread with Stomp several times, and the discipline is inspirational. And he's just relentless with the weight loss. So congrats, Stomps. Any secrets and tips you want to give the viewers out there?
Not really, just maintain, don't overdo it, cut back on the sweets. I'm trying to get it to the next level. That's really difficult. Really.
You think you hit a bit of a wall?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. No, no. Well, I think it's noticeable, and I think it's great. And just keep it up, and hopefully you won't gain everything back on the Christmas holidays.
No.
Yeah,
That won't happen.
because you put a lot of work into it. Excellent. Brian Ganutek also lost some weight too, so that's another guy that's done a really good job. I
I'm
am.
trying to be like Frank.
Oh, are they? I don't know what Frank's deal is. I don't know. Is he still on that? I haven't seen him in a long time. Um,
He's felt. What about yourself?
I was on and off. I'm right now. I'm kind of on in a good spot. I'm trying to work out every day and eat right, but not playing hockey is tough, right? So for me, the weight loss, the biggest beneficiary of my weight loss is my knees. Like when you drop the weight, it's really good. So as we wrap up 2024 stomps, I want to ask you two questions as we wrap up 2024. Number one, what is the most memorable thing that happened in 2024 for you?
The most memorable?
Yeah, what is one of the things that happened in 2024 that you think was a real big deal?
It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. Anything from your own personal success to sports things to politics, anything.
Nothing really jumps out for me. I don't
Okay.
know. You covered personally, how I've, tried to maintain weight because I had, and I think we talked about this on the last show, so this doesn't have to be all about me, but I just had bad blood tests and I was able to turn it around in 6 months.
That's amazing.
That was good.
Yeah. No, no, that's amazing. For me, one of the big things of 2024 was the total solar eclipse.
Oh, gee.
I thought that was amazing. Like, I thought it was incredible. Like,
I totally forgot about that.
yeah, but you were the one sending me all these pictures, weren't you?
But you're right. I mean, it was this, I mean, the lead up to it was kind of a frenzy and it was neat. I mean, but I've seen a lot of eclipses. I don't understand. I don't know. Whatever. It was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely pretty cool. Um, Hey, second thing I want to ask before we kind of wrap up over here is you're looking ahead 2025. You have three wishes,
Oh God.
2025. What are your three wishes for for yourself, for the world, and and for your friends?
Health, um, peace in the world, for sure, and um, good success to my youngsters.
That's really good. I love that. I mean, I can't even top that, right? Like definitely for me, I would say my big thing, and for those of you who are watching at home, please subscribe and like um, to the channel, like the
And,
episode.
and go to the comments section and give us your 3 wishes.
Yeah, give us your 3 wishes for 2025. So, one wish for yourself, one wish for the world, and one wish for your friends. So, personally, for me, I'm going to go a little bit more macro than health because we all know that on January 1st, January 2nd, all the fitness clubs are full of people that have made a New Year's resolution. And then everybody's eating salads for the first 2 or 3 weeks. And then they're back to eating like pork chops and high carb, high sugar, all that disgusting stuff. But but my wish for myself is consistency. Okay, like doing something and doing it really well, but doing it regularly. Because I think you're better doing something uh, regularly versus kind of just going like hot and cold. So that's the number one wish. I bet you other people are thinking the same thing. Number two for the world, I'm going to steal a page out of your book and I'm going to say peace. Um, Peace in the world. Um, America first. Honestly, like I know you want to laugh, but I really do think peace. And then the third one is for everybody, friends, and everybody. If we can, if you're listening to this neutral zone episode and you have a beef with someone, maybe try to solve it. At least one person that you don't get along with, reach out to them and try to solve the beef. Life's too short, man. Why hold on to old grudges and things like that? Try to make amends with people. That's my 3 wishes. I knew you'd get a kick out of that. That went a little deep, didn't it? Um, so
Deep is a word for it, yes.
any other notable things that you want to share before we wrap up here?
Well, this is supposed to be a hockey show, so we do have the Carroll Stream League
Yeah,
starting in January. It'd be nice if we can have another team or two. I think some people are fans of the game in that gym. It's pretty it's pretty fast paced with the ball ricocheting around the place. But um, I mean, it's a good location. It's pretty centrally located for almost everyone. So it'd be good, if we could get another team or two come in and have a good league there. Um, I mean, that's it from a hockey standpoint for the most part. I mean,
yeah.
otherwise business as usual. We'll start up. Look forward to the January tournament. That'll be a big. That's coming right around the corner. So
Yeah, I look forward to it too. So everybody, get in shape. It's a big weekend, MLK weekend. It's a weekend. It's a day of service. So I look forward to the weekend.
they have service
Every day should be a day of service, right?
in some way, sure.
Yeah. So I would like to just thank all the viewers out there. I look forward to more hockey in 2025. And if there's something that you want us to cover, honestly, the best way to reach Stomps and I is through social media, texting. We are very good at it. Stomps has a smartphone now, so I think that's a big deal. So everybody, I want to just say thank you for your support throughout the past couple of years. We will be celebrating our 5 year anniversary soon for the Neutral Zone. It will be coming up in 2025. So we'll be having some great series and episodes. Thank you for all your support. Please again like, subscribe, and share our incredible channel. Um, we only succeed based on your subscriptions. So again, with that said, I think our goal for 2025 for TNZ is to surpass Joe Rogan in terms of viewership, and I think we can do it, Stubbs.
Yeah.
All
Sure
right.
we will.
No, thank you to my co-star. Everybody have a very safe 2024 holiday season. To whatever you're celebrating, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. Look forward to seeing you all soon at the rink. Over and out. Thank you. Hang on, I'm trying to pause. Stop.